In 2021, a 60-year multi-billion-dollar corporate marriage ended in a bitter, messy divorce. The two companies involved, Fujifilm and Xerox. One walked away to build a quiet industrial empire. The other killed off its legendary products to gamble its entire future on software. This is the story of the messiest breakup in corporate history and a desperate fight to survive. It truly feels like there is always something going on in the commercial printing world, a massive $500 billion global market. But the way Fuji and Xerox chose to survive the fallout tells us everything we need to know about the future of this business. To really understand the breakup, we have to quickly look at the marriage. Back in 1962, the Fuji Xerox joint venture was established, and it was basically the ultimate power couple. It was a perfect, incredibly lucrative system. Fujifilm engineered and manufactured the mechanical guts of the machines over in Asia, and Xerox took those machines and sold them like hotcakes across the United States and Europe. It was quite literally a license to print money. But as the world moved into the 2010s, the market for everyday paper documents started to shrink. Revenue stalled. In 2018, things started to seriously unravel when Fujifilm decided to attempt a full $6.1 billion takeover of Xerox. But then enter Carl Icahn. Carl Icahn is one of the most famous, ruthless corporate raiders in Wall Street history, and as a major Xerox investor, he absolutely hated this deal. What followed was a brutal boardroom coup. Lawsuits flew back and forth, executive leadership was ousted, and the merger completely collapsed. By 2021, the 59-year partnership was officially terminated. They packed up their respective technologies, went their separate ways, and found themselves newly single. Now, a corporate breakup is hard enough, but doing it during a massive global crisis is a nightmare. Between 2019 and 2024, the total number of pages printed globally actually dropped by 5 trillion. And worse than the drop in volume was the labor crisis. The printing industry is currently facing a massive wave of retirements, playfully called the Silver Tsunami. Today, the average age of a lead press operator in the US is almost 60 years old. As these veterans retire, they take decades of know-how with them. Finding skilled people to run these giant machines has become nearly impossible. To survive this new reality, the big tech brands could no longer sell basic metal boxes that put ink on paper. They had to execute a massive strategy shift, and the paths that Fujifilm and Xerox chose couldn't have been more different. Let's look at Fujifilm first. Fujifilm executed what is essentially a masterclass in business strategy. They asked themselves, what do we actually know how to do? And the answer wasn't just building printers, it was the actual chemistry and science of how ink works. Instead of just fighting a turf war, selling whole printers, they poured billions into building the tiny microscopic nozzles that actually spray the ink. Using incredibly advanced microchips, these printheads can fire billions of times without breaking or clogging. But here's the genius part. Fujifilm aggressively sells these tiny ink nozzles to their own competitors. By controlling the core technology that makes digital printing work, Fujifilm transformed from a company just selling end products into the engine inside everyone else's machines. But they didn't stop at parts. Fujifilm used the mastery of chemistry to attack the highly lucrative packaging sector. Printing on things like potato chip bags and food wrappers has historically been a nightmare for digital printing. You have strict food safety rules, and getting ink to stick to thin plastic without melting the bag in a giant heater is really hard. Most companies struggled here. Fujifilm invented a new chemistry. They engineered AQUAFUZE, a proprietary ink technology that successfully mixes the safety of water-based ink with the toughness of instant drying ink. It's basically like successfully mixing oil and water. It delivers low-odor, food-safe prints that dry instantly. This is a massive competitive advantage that allows their new presses to completely disrupt the digital packaging market. So Fujifilm took the industrial scientific route. Now let's look at Xerox. While Fuji was building a manufacturing empire, Xerox found themselves caught in a trap. Faced with falling revenues in 2024, Xerox was staring down the barrel of the Kodak warning. The Kodak warning is the terrifying reality of going bankrupt because you refuse to adapt to the future. Xerox knew they had to adapt or die. In a move that truly shocked the industry, Xerox announced they were going to stop building their legendary flagship printing presses, the iGen and Nuvera. Make no mistake, these were the giant machines that effectively created the modern digital printing industry. Furthermore, they stopped building their own massive digital printers and signed an agreement to start buying them from a competitor named Kyocera. By walking away from building their own top-tier machines, Xerox risked becoming a company that just slaps their logo on someone else's printer. But Xerox wasn't giving up. They were executing a massive pivot. Acknowledging the insane cost of running physical factories, Xerox transitioned aggressively into becoming a software and IT company, aiming to capture a massive $700 billion market. Instead of focusing on building the physical printers themselves, Xerox shifted their focus to the software that runs the entire print shop. They leaned heavily into smart AI systems that act like a digital traffic cop, automatically routing print jobs to the right machines based on what paper is loaded, completely without human help. They also heavily backed Care AR, an advanced customer service tool. Instead of waiting for a repair guy to show up, the smart software tells you a part is failing before it breaks, and looking through your phone's camera, it shows you exactly how to fix it yourself with augmented reality. Xerox is betting its future on the idea that smart software would lock in their customers much better than hardware ever could. For a while, this was the accepted industry narrative. Fuji won the breakup by dominating hardware, while Xerox retreated to the safety of software. But the business world loves a plot twist. Just when everyone thought Xerox was stepping away from high-end presses, they launched the Proficio production series. And here is the ultimate irony. The Proficio is actually a Fujifilm machine on the inside. Xerox realized that building printers from scratch was a waste of money, so they bought the highly reliable Fujifilm engines from their ex-partner and wrapped them entirely in Xerox's own exclusive software. The name Proficio literally means to make progress in Latin, and Xerox is proving it. These machines run at an incredibly 100 pages per minute on super thick cardstock. And they feature a special extra ink station for high-value effects like fluorescent pinks, clear shiny coats, silver, and gold. To make it idiot-proof, Xerox added their Predict Print AI. You just scan the barcode on the ream of paper, and the press uses data from thousands of other printers around the world to instantly set itself up. No veteran operator required. By combining their software with Fuji's hardware, it was a clear signal that Xerox is still a major player. So to summarize, a 60-year marriage ended in a bitter divorce. Fujifilm took a smart risk, diving deep into the science of ink and parts. Meanwhile, Xerox took a massive gamble, killing off legacy hardware to build a massive software empire, while brilliantly using their ex-partner's hardware to launch a comeback. Two completely different paths to survive the exact same breakup. I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments. Is Fujifilm's hardware strategy the safer bet? Or does Xerox software pivot and the new Proficio press have what it takes to win? Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.